Hi guys, my name is Jaime Valencia. I'm part of the PDI Technical Advisors in Cisco. This is part number 1 on the self-provisioning, how to configure. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure the IAM and presence integration, which we are also going to use for a Jabber configuration video that is coming in a few months. I hope this is useful for you. Before we start with self-provisioning, I'm going to configure the IAM and presence integration so that we can use it on a later video. If you are going to be using local users, you might want to change the user credential policies. You can find them here. User management, user settings, credential policy default. If you are going to be using LDAP, as we are going to be doing in this case, this will not be applicable. The first thing that we need to do is to go to System, Security, zip trunk security profile. We're going to click on Find, and we're going to locate the non-secure zip trunk profile. We're going to click on it, and we're going to click on Copy. We are going to change the name. The device security mode needs to be non-secure. Incoming transport type TCP plus UDP. The outgoing transport type needs to be TCP, and we're going to change the configuration for accept present subscription, accept out of dialog refer, accept unsolicited notification, and accept replaces header. We're going to click on Save. The next step is to create the zip trunk. We go to Device, Trunk, and we click on Add New. This is going to be a zip trunk, and you have several options here. For this zip trunk, you are going to choose None Default. Click Next. We're going to set the device name. I'm going to use the same for the description. I'm going to use the device pool that I have created. Most of these settings will be according to your configuration. In here, we need to use the hostname, the FQDN, or the IP. In this case, I'm going to use the FQDN. I'm going to leave the default port. I'm going to choose the CUP trunk profile that I created, and I'm going to set this to an internal CSS, which only has access to the phones and devices within my call manager server. Then we're going to choose the standard zip profile, and we're going to click on Save. We're going to reset the zip trunk. And now we need to go to the service parameters. We need to look for two parameters in this page. The first one is the default interpresence group subscription. And we need to change it to allow subscription. The other one is that we need to use the zip trunk that we just created. In the IAM and presence publish trunk, we need to go ahead and choose the zip trunk that we just configured, and we need to save. On the IAM and presence server, we also need to do a little bit of configuration. In first place, we need to go to System, Security, TLS per subjects. We click on Find, and on this case, we do not have anything. We need to click on Add New, and we need to type in the FQDN of our CUCM server. We're going to save this. And we also need to go to Presence, Gateways, and we need to add our CUCM server as a presence gateway. The next step is going back to Security, and we go to TLS Context Configuration. We'll click on Find, and we need to look for the default _Cisco _up _zip _proxy _peer _out TLS context, which is going to be the last one on the list. We need to find the server that we just created, and we need to move it to the right. Then we click Save. If we go back to CUCM and we take a look at the trunks, we will see that we cannot find the status because the options ping is not enabled. And that is because we are using the default zip profile. What we can do in this case is to go to Device, Device Settings, Zip Profile, and we look for the standard zip profile. We're going to copy, and we scroll down to the bottom of the page. we're going to find the zip options ping and we're going to enable that option. And we're going to click save. Then we go back to our trunk and we are going to change the profile that we use for this new one. We're going to save, we're going to reset. It should not be long before we can see that the zip trunk is up and running. Right now, as you can see, I have a status of no service, and there is actually a reason for that, because most of my services in my present server are down right now. I actually stopped some of them for one reason, and that is because I'm going to be doing a flexible Git and multi-domain integration. I'm going to Presence, Settings, this is in the IAM Presence server, and I'm going to Advanced Configuration. As you can see, these 5 services here are stopped right now. That is the reason why I can change the configuration. What I'm going to be doing right now is that I'm going to be changing the IAM address scheme. I'm going to change it for user ID at default domain to directory URI. I'm going to show you why I'm going to be doing that. As you can see, this is going to be the OU to which I'm going to be doing the LDAP sync. I'm going to have 4 different domains. I'm going to have tiamat.com, pdimx.cisco.com, slipknot.com, and I'm going to have trivium.com. If I use the user at default domain, all of these users could be at pdimx.cisco.com, and that's not what I want. I want every user to keep their logon name and their email address. That is the reason why I'm going to be changing this. This is going to work out once I do the LDAP integration on the CUCM side, and I'm going to be changing the URI to the email address. Once you have changed this configuration to directory URI, you're going to click on Save. You're going to get a warning. All of the clients need to support directory URI as the IAM address scheme. This also involves some changes in the java-config.xml. I'm going to click OK. As this is a greenfield deployment, I do not have any users right now. If you are going to be migrating from the old user ID at default domain to directory URI, all of the contact list and all of the configuration related to those users, in which they were referred to as user ID at defaultdomain.com, are going to be changed to reflect the new directory URI. That means that there might be some delay while this changes in the background in the database. We're going to click OK. As you could see, for some reason, I have always needed to do this procedure twice. It will only take the change until you do the second time. As you can see right now, the IAM address scheme is set up to directory URI. With all this, we can go ahead and start with the self-provisioning. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope this was useful for you.